YouTube. It's Ashley with Keller Williams. Man, that is squeaky. Anyway, what did I want to talk about? I've been having a lot of interactions with people, and I have a couple of real estate colleagues. We contact each other a couple times a week, and I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about getting tough questions answered. I think that often people forget that the person in control of the conversation is the person getting answers to their questions. I mean, good salespeople, you're trained to ask questions. I mean, you're trying to understand where the client is. You're trying to qualify them. You're trying to understand what their motivation is, and really sort of figure out how you can best help them. I mean, really, that's what these questions are designed to do. How can you be of help? What's going on? What do they need? What things are they missing? Do they need help with financing first? Are they, kind of torn between what areas they want to live in? There's so many different questions, and it is important to ask those questions, but it is more important to get answers to those questions. And what I'm going to say next is I will challenge you to this, not just with your clients, but throughout your life. When you go somewhere and you ask a question, I mean, I've become very aware of this. You do not know how often you ask somebody a question, and if they don't want to answer it, or I don't know what happens, but they just decide that they're not going to answer it, and they just start talking about something else, and you have to circle back or stop the conversation and be like, well, did you want bean burritos or tacos? Because then you might ask them that question, and then they start talking about knitting. I mean, completely unrelated topic. Okay, and the conversation's completely out of control. So I will challenge you to just be aware of that, and try controlling conversations in small situations, with your family or your kids, your loved one, your mom. You call her up, you're like, hey mom, how you doing? And she's just not even answering the question. So that's definitely a task. You have to get answers to your questions. Ask questions, get answers to your questions. The other thing that I wanted to talk about are unspoken objections. Okay? I mean, really, it's very easy sometimes to get sort of superficial or unuseful objections from clients. This could be from your boss. This could be from your husband, your wife, your kid. And sometimes which are important. It's important to hear these objections and have ways to handle those objections. I mean, we're trained to do this, right? We practice scripts. We try to kind of predict and guide the conversation, and we try to figure out what objection might they have so that we are able to actually handle that objection, because there's nothing worse than being with a client and they throw an objection your way and you're just smiling because you don't know what to freaking say. All right? I think that it's quite possibly one of the worst experiences ever, to be in a position and not know the fucking answer. Okay? So, those objections, the ones that they vocalize, great. Get those ones handled and get them out of the way. But beware that there are always objections that they are not saying. Okay? I mean, or there could be. I mean, here's the thing. You don't really know what's going on in their mind. I mean, some of the most common objections are going to be either to the price of something or the product. So, in real estate, it's either going to be to that direct house. It's going to be something about the house they don't like, or it's going to be the cost. How much does that house cost? Or it's going to be something about you. Okay? So, I mean, there's really three main things. Okay? And sometimes there's just something else that they haven't said. Okay? So usually it's pretty easy to address these. You can just address them head on. You can, just ask the person the question. What do you like about this property? What do you dislike about it? And usually price will come up or something like that. But those unspoken ones are really tricky. And the reason that I bring that up is because Um, Sometimes you get kind of like pushback from clients. This is what I'm noticing, and I'm relatively new to this field, but what I'm noticing is that you'll get kind of pushback or sort of like ambiguous answers that you can't really put your finger on, and it's bam, there's totally an unspoken objection, and they don't want to tell you. And sometimes it requires just asking a hard questions, and really helping the client make sense of some decision. They're making a decision either way. Either they're going to buy or not buy, or they're going to sell or they're not going to sell, or refi, or whatever the case may be. But the real value is in helping them see the products, of course, but then to be able to like sort of like walk through that logical process to make sense of either buying the house, not buying the house, or selling or not selling. I mean, that is it right there. I mean, getting them to that place and helping them as much as possible make sense of the deal. I mean, they have to make sense of it. In their own mind, it has to make sense. So that's what I'll leave you with. I'll leave you with their unspoken objections out there. And I challenge you to pay attention to whether or not you're getting answers to your questions in life, just with everyday people. Like, take the barista at Starbucks, okay? So this video is getting a little bit long. This is a very interesting topic. I really, this is like really like meat and potatoes. Like, if you can get in control of these two things, I mean, you're gonna be fantastic. So that's all I have for you today. Please like the video, leave comments down below, follow me on Facebook, and hit my website, ashleybolden.com, and I will see you again soon, YouTube.